Top 5 episodes of the season for the originals this year. Well, I'm biased. I co-wrote the premiere with Marguerite McIntyre, in which Elijah and Klaus strategize to take down the Guerreras and to eradicate Francesca Guerrera from the family. And the episode ends, of course, with us realizing that, oh, it's not just Mom and Finn who are back in town, but Cole as well. It had a little bit of mystery, a little bit of intrigue, some great action pieces, and really with the fairy tale opening with Claire Holt giving us a surprise visit and telling the fairy tale story of the Michelson family and their rise and fall to Baby Hope. It sort of set the tone for the season, which we wanted to be very much fable and fairy tale. That was our overall tone for the season. I loved episode 207. It was the episode where Klaus and his newly discovered father went out for a walk in the woods to find a very rare orchid in hopes of healing Elijah. It was when, and then ultimately Klaus, of course, ended up taking matters into his own hands with how to deal with his birth father, who really he'd probably waited his whole life to know. It's where Jackson re-entered the picture, and we started to get an understanding that there would be still a possibility of a relationship between Jackson and Haley. And it just had a beautiful, beautiful vibe and feeling to it. And I really loved that episode. I also equally loved episode 210, which was the first episode back from our mid-season hiatus when Rebecca Michelson had been dropped into the witch asylum as a nasty little prank by her brother Cole. And she woke up in the body of a new actress, woke up in the body of Maisie Richardson Sellers. And it was our first introduction to Rebecca and ultimately our first introduction to Freya, the girl in the glass coffin. And meanwhile, Finn, really angry about the fact that his mother was missing and he wasn't sure where she was, took it upon himself to storm the literal castle and to put a spell on the Michelson compound that locked the vampires and the werewolves into the compound together with no escape. And so you have poor Josh and Aiden who, are star-crossed lovers. One's a werewolf, one's a vampire, and suddenly everybody gets really hungry just as these people are trying to find peace with each other. So I thought that episode was really thrilling. I loved the World War I flashback episode where we got to see what happened when Marcel left Klaus behind and said, screw you, screw this family, I'm going to go and I'm going to go be part of something that means something to me. And so as Marcel is locked in the compound trying to be a leader to his very hungry and very upset vampires, we got to see a flashback to a time where he was fighting with the Harlem Hellfighters in France in a World War I battle, trying to hold a line, and he had really had to step up and take a leadership role then, and we parallel that with the leadership role he has to take today. And I thought that episode was really beautifully executed and smart and thrilling and everything that we love to do on this show, which is history and flashbacks and character stuff and present to past day parallels. I thought that was really great. I absolutely loved the Freya Dahlia flashback episode 216, which was where we got to hear straight from Freya's mouth the story of what it was like to be raised by Dahlia. And Dahlia, to this point, was a character that we had sort of heard of, and she had been this threat looming on the horizon, but we'd never seen her adult face. We'd seen her only younger and in flashbacks. And to get our first glimpse of Dahlia as played by Claudia Black, and to see just how sort of nasty she was, and it really made us feel for Freya. And as Freya got deeper and deeper and deeper into these relationships with her siblings, Klaus, of course, got more and more and more paranoid and distrustful of her. And it was just an episode that had terrific family dynamics and also had some pretty great romance, too.